you look back on your career, what do you look back on? What things do you look back on most fondly? It can't be easy to narrow them down.
I'm going to tell you a couple of instances that I went on the national board in 1985. I was a rookie, and I'm nobody. I'm out in the West. I get to West Palm Beach, and first thing I find out, they've appointed me to the audit committee, which oversees all the finances from the association. They appointed me to the board of trustees, which oversees all the operations of the PGA of America. And here I am, a young kid from Colorado, and what am I doing on these two committees? So I thought, well, if I'm going to be on these committees, I'm just not going to go and sit in the meeting. I'm going to find out what's going on. So I go to these audit committees, find out we don't have any money. We're a national organization. We're the PGA of America. We don't have any money. How do we operate? And if something happens, we're going to go bankrupt. And I complained for a whole year, and I was appalled by it, to be honest with you. So Mickey Powell becomes president, and he says, okay, Vic, he says, you're doing all the complaining. Will you chair a reserve board committee? And I says, under one condition. He says, what's that? That I can pick all the members. He says, done. So we had a committee of one. That was me. I had nobody else on the committee. And I went out and I interviewed the Coors management. I interviewed the Jefferson County Public Schools. I interviewed some other nonprofits. I had all this material. And I go to the board meeting and I says, we're about to go bankrupt. If we have a bad year, we lose the Ryder Cup or something, we don't have any money. If you're a Fortune 500 company, you suspend the dividends. If you're a nonprofit, you ask for donations. And I went on and on this whole litany. So anyway, we got it passed. And Mickey Powell looks at me, he says, quit talking so much. He says, you've already sold it, just shut up. I said, okay. So they passed it. Our first reserve amount was $7,500. In my second term, we were fortunate enough to sell the merchandise show to Reed Expositions. Now your reserve fund is over $120 million. Now, think about how much money they give to the sections at ADP and all the funds. That comes from all of those investments that they've done with the merchandise show being sold. And you lost no privileges in the merchandise show, none whatsoever. Matter of fact, it's better. And you look back on where we were in the largest sports organization in the world about to go bankrupt, in my opinion. If we'd had 9/11 that year, we would have been belly up. We didn't have any money. So I look back on the association, and all of you out here are part of that, have made this association grow into, my opinion, the strongest sports organization in the world. And I'm so proud of it. Just proud to be a member.
Fascinating. And most people don't understand that. I understand it. What was it? In about 1986, the PGA was still paying NBC to televise the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
We were paying them.
We were paying them, and so we looked at the balance sheet, and when all of a sudden you don't have any money, what are you going to do? Now the Ryder Cup, is a big fundraiser, is a big thing for this thing, but it's not the money raiser for the association. Your reserve fund, the interest on your reserve fund, actually funds the association, in my opinion. Just think $130 million at so much a year, that's pretty good income, just off the interest and the earnings.
And I think that's what basically they use to fund section and member programs.
Yes, that's what they do now. Mm-hmm.
All right, fascinating. I have